It's like meditation, but instead of observing your thoughts, you manage them efficiently. You're gonna understand what I am saying at the end of the video. Let's just give you a quick summary of what we are about to go through. First, I will make you understand what cognitive offloading is. Then I'll tell you why it matters. Then I'm gonna tell you the types. And then I'm gonna tell you how to implement this in your day-to-day life. At the end, we are gonna have some do it steps that you can actually do it right now. So let's start with the first topic. First, we need to understand two things. One is cognitive, that is, according to Wikipedia, in cognitive psychology, cognitive load refers to the amount of working memory resources used. In simple terms, it is basically how much brain power you are using. The second thing is offloading. According to Oxford Dictionary, to get rid of something or somebody that you don't need or want by passing it to somebody else. In simpler terms, deleting stuff. Well, congratulations. Now you know the meaning of cognitive load and now you know the meaning of offloading. You can thank me later. Moving on to part 2. Why the cognitive offloading matters. Now, at first we need to understand three things. And these three are the major limitations of the human memory. Number 1, it needs resources. Number 2, it is an active process which is highly energy consuming. Number 3, it can store very little information at a given time. Imagine this, if you are focused and doing some deep work right now, and in between you get a notification, you get random thought of the thing that you haven't completed, you get a thought of random to-do list that you need to do right now. Basically, you have a million other priorities. This is where cognitive offloading comes into play. By practicing cognitive offloading, you are freeing your brain's resources. There are two types of cognitive offloading you need to be aware of. Number 1, doing something about recurring thoughts, and number 2, doing something for recurring tasks. Whenever you are focused and doing some sort of work, there are a million things that will come to your mind. First, we have to understand that thinking is the normal thing. Many people get upset due to this during meditation and they think like, why am I not able to focus? That why am I getting repeated thoughts? That is the human mind. It has thoughts. What you can do is there are two things. Number 1, either writing them down on a piece of paper or some digital technology, which I personally use and call the distraction journal. This has all the list of all the shit that is going on while I do a important task. For example, I might think that, oh, I need to do this task, I need to reply to someone. All of these tasks get to the distraction journal, and once I finish the flow state block that lasts for about 2 hours, then I am allowed to do all the rest of the things that are there in the distraction journal. Another thing you can do is basically ignore the thoughts and just get back to the work. That is easier said than done, of course, but the psychology behind this is, if something is very important, only then can you switch the task. If it is something futile like replying someone, that thought will pop up into your brain later too, because if you ignore it once, similar circumstances are gonna arise soon, and then your brain will prompt itself to give you that thought once again. It's like a reminder. Your brain will automatically work as a reminder, and once you snooze that alarm during the focus time, it will again come back to you later. Personally, I use the distraction journal more than the ignore stuff. I do use the ignore stuff, but it is in less volume because sometimes I really get important things that I actually have to do, and those just get into the distraction journal. Now, doing something for recurring tasks. The single greatest tactic of doing something about these are batching. If you don't know what batching is, let me explain. Batching is basically grouping similar tasks together. In one batch, you're gonna complete all of those random tidbits that you have to do. For example, checking WhatsApp messages and Instagram messages can be coupled in with checking emails. All of those text related and reply related stuff is gonna go to a single batch. Then, for example, some payment can go to a single batch. Then all of the research related stuff can go to another batch. Technology will benefit you in this one because it will send you reminders. If you set schedules, if you have to-do lists, reminders, then you are gonna get the reminder and you will be able to set the reminder to get it on a particular time you need. What you can do is you can take entirety of your day, 24 hours, 8 hours sleep, never mind, 16-hour work. Take one particular time whenever you are free, and in that time you can just put out all the batching stuff in that particular block. So you already don't have to worry that when I'm gonna do this, when I'm gonna do that. You already know you're gonna finish all of that thing in just that particular time you already fixed. So you're gonna be more relaxed. Now you get to understand why cognitive offloading is basically meditation, but instead of observing the thoughts, you're actually trying to manage them more efficiently. implementing cognitive offloading in day-to-day life. Now this is the part you all have been waiting for, and I understand, because applying it to similar small tasks is very nice, but if we can apply it to the entire day, our productivity is gonna increase about 100 times, and that is not a joke. In this day and age where mental labor is valued over physical labor, then if you are able to focus properly, you are gonna outscale 99% of the people. One thing I highly advise you to do is have a calendar. Now that is probably the single greatest productivity hack or tactic or app or technology, whatever you want to say, that is probably the single best thing that has happened to humans in terms of productivity, because you can literally understand when you are gonna do, what you are gonna do, how you are gonna do. You can just write each and every detail in the calendar, and you don't literally have to worry about that ever again. Once you get the reminder, you are gonna directly start working. So there is no thought that if you schedule something like study, then you can write the things you need to study. Whenever the time comes to study, you will already know that, all right, I'm gonna solve the 10th question of the 10th page of my science book. You're already gonna know. But if you don't do it, then what is gonna happen? You're gonna think that, all right, this subject is weak, this is gonna, let's study this, or there will be too much of a distraction to actually complete the work, actually start the work, let alone complete it. As I already mentioned before, try to batch the tasks, which will make you at least save about an hour or two a day, which on the long run is a lot. In 24 days, you're saving 1 day if you save 1 hour per day. Now I'm gonna give you a very funny example to actually tell you that how this batching stuff and this scheduling stuff works, right? I always used to struggle about whether I will make my bed first or I will turn on my PC first. That is probably a struggle most of you want to do, because it's just a no-brainer, right? It doesn't even feel like a work, but that actually every day used to take about 1 or 2 minutes to decide, do I want to pack up all the things on my bed, or do I want to open my PC first and set up all the work things and then do the bed and all that thing. But once I actually decided, which was making the bed first, and once I actually decided, 2 minutes, 30 days, an hour. Similarly, in a month, I'm saving an hour, and this is the return on investment of just a small task. Imagine the same return on investment but on a grand scale. If you are not scheduling things, then you are missing out on so many opportunities. Once you start scheduling, you will be able to save probably 1 day in 10 days. Every 10 days you're gonna live 1 day extra, you can say, and you won't be sucked into thinking about what to do next. This is probably the highest ROI thing to do, because each and everything is unlimited, right? If we consider it from a subjective point of view, money, it is subjective, it is unlimited. Status, fame, recognition, everything is unlimited. Once you lose it, you're gonna gain it back. But time, hell no, man, until the microbiology comes. By now, you're probably already aware of the benefits it is having. Number one, it saves time. Number two, you're gonna become more productive. Number three, you're gonna get more efficient, and your brain power is going to good use rather than thinking about what to do now. Now for the do it step, and you actually have to do it, otherwise it will just be another video that you watch and don't take action. Do this right now. Open your notepad or take a piece of paper, whatever you prefer, and write down one thing that you learned that you are gonna implement. I highly hope that it is scheduling if you are someone who doesn't schedule, and I don't even believe these people exist nowadays, because everyone has to schedule something in this new era and time. Done? Or are you still waiting? If you are still waiting, then come on man, just pause and just do the thing. Seriously, it's gonna help you, not me. All of this stuff on productivity said, there's probably one thing that you don't even think that is harming your productivity or your mental power or your brain. Click and watch this one to know what it is. Until next time, start if you haven't already.